How we doing, folks? Your host Moose here on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. And like Willie Nelson says, we are on the road again. Pitt heading away to Syracuse for an ACC rivalry matchup. And the Panthers, of course, already clinching the ACC Coastal Division last week. So now just 2 regular season matches to finish out the campaign before conference championship week, and it's going to be a big one. Syracuse, obviously it's a rivalry game of teams that have a lot of history with each other, and Syracuse with some talent. So let's get this game underway. Syracuse to receive the football, Johnny Madej to kick off, and here we go from the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York. Fred West, the senior, back to receive, and he's going to return it out. Gets across maybe the 30-yard line there. Good return for the senior. And so Cornell Washington, the redshirt junior quarterback, to lead the Orange out onto the field. He's a dual threat, very, very talented player, and he's going to be the man to watch on this Syracuse offense. He's really the straw that stirs their drink. And he's back to pass here. Pitt brings short pressure, and he's going to go out wide. That's freshman Michael Bowling making a 5-yard grab. Bowling, actually the younger brother of former Syracuse running back Quentin Bowling, who is a rookie and on the Steelers practice squad this season. But they try a little bit of trickeration on second down. Ira Rucker there tackled in the backfield, and that's Marquise Walker getting some more playing time here in the absence of Pitt corner Damian Vector. And they go to the sideline on third down. Jordan Murphy Jr., now featuring in the nickel spot due to that injury, makes the deflection, knocks the ball away, and the Pitt offense will get their first crack at the field here today. Davion Reynolds out wide. He goes for about 6 yards, does the Panthers' sophomore sensation running back. Part of a hugely successful offense for the Panthers. 6th in the country in yards per game, 12th in scoring for what's been a very, very balanced offensive attack. Nearly 200 yards, both rushing and passing the football. It's going to be a handoff. This time it's fullback Jonathan Lysander getting the football. A little bit of a different look there for Pitt. He picks up about a yard. It's going to set up 3rd and short for the Panthers. Kirk rolling to his right now, has some time, decides to air it out deep, looking for Christian Klump, and that's going to be knocked away, fall to the turf, and Pitt's going to have to punt the football away. So unsuccessful opening drives for both offenses here. Syracuse will start with the ball near their 30, and they go option now. It's going to be Cornell Washington. We know he can run, and he's going to get up near midfield here, 18 yards on the option keeper. And it's a first down for Syracuse. And the Panthers here missing Damian Vector. Syracuse actually missing their starting left tackle. We'll see if that plays an impact on the game here today. It's going to be Washington again on a design run. Keeps it himself and goes for 8 yards. 2nd and short as Syracuse is into plus territory. Mikhail Ellis this time as Syracuse goes with a triple option look. He's the number 2 running back, but there's not much of a drop-off between him and Darion Stewart. Washington now goes with Stewart on an option. He's going to pitch it out wide. Granger's been flattened on the edge, and Stewart has acres of green grass to roam into. 20-yard pickup before Jordan Murphy comes over and makes the tackle. Washington keeps it himself. Now Syracuse content to just run the ball down the Panthers' throats. Darion Mitchell eventually levels Washington, but that's 14 yards and another new set of downs. Goal to go now for the Orange. Washington, designed run, decides to keep it up the middle. He's into the end zone, and that's a quick fire Syracuse touchdown. They just went ground and pound on Pitt, used the footwork of Washington, and he found his way into the end zone. The Panthers will be playing from behind here. What a drive for Syracuse to go ahead and take the lead. Cornell Washington really showing off the fancy footwork. And some huge news from college football around the country. Tulane has upset Cincinnati. A.C. Reese, the former Panther quarterback, will likely not be going back to the college football playoff. Tremaine Humphreys, the Tulane running back, with an incredible performance, gives them the upset victory. Miami beats Virginia as well. That's Pitt's opponent next week. And Indiana knocks off Ohio State 28-21. Eric Rutledge, the Indiana quarterback, with a couple of touchdowns in that one. So 2 gigantic upsets in the top 10. Pitt will hope to not be the 3rd one here in this contest. And that's a great pass there. KJ Welsh finds a soft spot in the defense. He hauls in a 17-yard grab from Pitt quarterback CJ Kirk. 2nd and 9 now for the Panthers. Play action. Kirk time to throw, lofts it right over the top of the defense, and that's Christian Klump hauling that one. Beautiful touch pass from C.J. Kirk right over the top of the defender, and it's a first down for the Panthers. Motion from Sino Rogers here, who we haven't seen on the football just yet, but it's going to be Davion Reynolds up the middle for 6 yards for the Panthers, second and short. Play action. Kirk tries to roll away, but the pressure gets right to him. Jordy Andrews comes right through unblocked, and it's right back to square one, 3rd and 10 now for Pitt. KJ Welsh in motion. They go play action. Kirk rolls to his right, finds some space, decides to air it out long, and he's got Klump this time, and that's going to be a Panther touchdown. They equalize on a quick fire strike from Kirk to Klump. What a throw from CJ, and Christian Klump does a great job hauling it in, shedding one tackler, and finding pay dirt for the Panthers. Beautiful play for Pitt as they equalize here early in the contest. So we'll see what the Syracuse offense can do and if the Panthers make any adjustments following the impressive rushing by Cornell Washington. This time he tries to go right up the middle, and that's Mac McAlevey getting off his blocker, hitting him down for a loss. Washington design run. This time it's Cedric Granger is right up at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Washington, and it's going to be 3rd and long for Syracuse. So Pitt doing a good job limiting Washington in the run game this time, and he completely misses the mark, and Cedric Granger is Johnny on the spot, hauls that one in, and it's a turnover for the Panthers. They play takeaway, and they're going to have great field position here for their next possession. Looked like Washington was trying to find Malik Thornton there down the sideline, and he just completely overthrew him. And the Panthers were able to be on the receiving end of a great defensive play by Cedric Granger. Great field position already in Syracuse territory. But 3rd and long now for Pitt. They go 5 wide. Kirk, time to throw. Has a man up the middle. That's KJ Welsh, but he can't hold on to the football through the contact. And just like that, the Panthers come away with nothing off of that wonderful field position. Syracuse gets the ball right back. It's going to be Stewart up the middle here. He's going to be brought down by a pair of Panthers there, but it's a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5. They go right back to him here. Stewart up the middle. Granger coming forward. Gets first licks on the running back, but that's going to be a first down carry here. Syracuse moving the chains on the ground yet again. 80 yards rushing already in the first quarter, and they're going to go wildcat, but they go play action. Interesting there. Darion Stewart threw a pass, and it ends up being a huge gain for Syracuse. It looks like despite the good defending and the incompletion, Brian Youngling, gets his hand caught in the face mask of the Syracuse receiver, and that's going to be a first down on a face masking penalty. But on first down now, Washington goes down. Malachi Bordeaux, the Panthers' senior defensive captain, gets through and makes the sack. Loss of 8. They go option now on 2nd down. Washington with all kinds of room to roam free, and eventually Scott Whaley, the man to push him out of bounds, needed 18, got 21 on 2nd down, and Washington moves the chains for the Orange. Darion Stewart, this time he's met by a pair of Pitt defenders there. That's going to be Dio Langston and Matt Emery combining to make the tackle. No gain there for the Orange. 2nd down. Washington, as Pitt only rushes 3, trying to contain his rushing efforts. He decides to throw it into triple coverage, where it was well defended by Whaley and Emery there. Able to knock the ball down, set up 3rd and long, and they go with the draw play, trying to catch Pitt off guard. Darion Mitchell was not fooled, and he makes a fantastic stop there. Pitt's going to get the football right back. Handoff now, it's Davion Reynolds out wide. The Pitt trying to get their rushing attack going, and that's 9 yards out to the sideline for that dude, Davion, taking us to the end of the first quarter. Your Pitt Panthers level with the Syracuse Orange here, 7-7 on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. 2nd and 1 for Pitt as we get the second quarter underway here from the Carrier Dome. It's going to be Sino Rogers in motion. His first time touching the football. It's going to be just enough to get the first down as he takes it on a jet sweep there for a gain of 2. Kirk now looks out wide. It's going to be Rogers again. They've got him in space on the bubble screen. He nearly breaks it for a big gain, but it's going to be a 20-yard pickup and another first down for the Panthers as they cross the midfield line. Davion Reynolds here, shake and bake across the middle as he's twirled to the ground after a 7-yard pickup. 2nd and 3 for the Panthers. 3rd down now and 3. Kirk in the shotgun. Plenty of time to throw. Pressure gets home, though, and he's forced to just throw it off to the sideline, trying to find Reynolds, and he threw it at his feet. Incomplete, and Pitt going to be forced to punt the ball yet again. Stewart up the middle. Now he's corralled right around the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 2nd and 10. 5 wide look for Syracuse this time. Pitt goes 6 defensive backs, and they've got a man over the middle. That's Ira Rucker there, hauled down by Talik Bridges. Panthers linebacker stuck playing out in space there, and that's going to be a first down for the Orange. Darion Stewart up the middle yet again, and 3-yard pickup. Dio Langston, the Panthers sophomore middle linebacker, the man to bring him down. 3rd and 7 now. Washington with plenty of time to throw. Pitt rushes only 3, and Granger nearly had his 2nd of the day. Great job by him sitting back in space and jumping on that route when he saw the ball coming. Beautiful knockdown. Pitt football yet again. They go motion now. Kirk throws it out to Rogers on a screen. Good block by the Panthers out wide, and again, Rogers just one tackler away from breaking a huge gain for the Panthers, but that's 13 and a first down. Reynolds up the middle here. Pitt using some motion, but sticking with a pretty traditional running game here. 5-yard pickup for Davion. 2nd and 5 now. Kirk, time to throw. Pressure eventually gets home, but he does a good job keeping his eyes downfield and finding Christian Klump for 16 yards into Syracuse territory here. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Now they go trips out to the right. Kirk decides to go back the other way, has Klump underneath, and that's another first down pickup for the redshirt freshman tight end. 13. He's up to 85 yards receiving and a touchdown already here in the first half. One of his better games. Reynolds now finds plenty of room up the middle here. He's across inside the 10. It'll be goal to go for the Panthers here. They go 5 wide now on first down. Kirk back to pass. Syracuse brings some pressure. Has a man at the sidelines, and that was KJ Welsh. I think he just couldn't keep his feet in bounds, and the Panthers unable to make the completion. 2nd and goal now. Pitt goes to Sino. Rogers on the sweep. Had some blockers set up, but they just couldn't hold. And so it's going to be 3rd and goal after no gain there for Sino. Kirk back to pass here. Looks to the sideline. He's got Onyango. That's a beautiful throw into an incredibly tight window. Talk about threading the needle, and the redshirt junior makes a fantastic grab there. The ball's right on target when Onyango turns around. It just beats the defender to the spot, and Onyango does a fantastic job holding on to the contested catch. Pitt touchdown. But Syracuse here decides to come out slinging on their ensuing possession. Ira Rucker for 20 yards over the middle there gets them near midfield. Delayed handoff now to Stewart. He tries to bust it out wide, but good job by Deuce Holland, the Panthers linebacker, holding him to just a 4-yard gain. Washington now to Stewart again. He runs through one defender. That's Granger, unable to make the stop, and he's able to churn and burn for an 8-yard pickup and move the sticks for the Orange into plus territory. Washington back to pass as Pitt rushes 4, and that's a great play. That's true freshman safety Matt Wright coming up and dislodging the man from the football, forcing the incompletion. Another player that's getting some play time here. What we've seen a lot in Pitt's 6 defensive back packages is Matt Wright is playing in the strong safety spot, and Matt Emery, the Panthers' normal strong safety, because he does have good cover skills, he's been playing actually as the dime corner a lot for the Panthers, getting into the slot and covering those Syracuse receivers and running backs. So a little bit of a different look for Pitt, but Syracuse doing what they can to counter it. This is going to be Stewart down in the backfield. Talik Bridges with another really good job getting downhill and making the stop for a big loss. 2nd and long. Now they go Wildcat. It's Stewart and a Darion Mitchell unblocked off the edge, and the Panthers' other senior defensive captain gets his 2nd stop behind the line, forces 3rd and 14. Washington, time to throw, looks to the sideline, and that's an incredible grab. They're going to say Bowling tiptoed down the sideline despite the really good coverage of Jordan Murphy Jr., and it keeps the drive alive for the Orange with a huge first down conversion. Washington now, time to throw yet again, looks over the top, and that's Malik Thornton, 11 yards for the touchdown, gets just behind the zone coverage of the Panthers. Talik Bridges gets that ball right over the top of his head, and the Syracuse #1 target out wide finally makes his mark and gets the score for the Orange, tying this game back up here with 2 minutes to play in the first half. 2-minute drill time for the Panthers. Now Kirk looks underneath. That's Onyango holding onto the football, and he's hauled down by the face max. 15 and change there. Going to be added on to the end of that run for the Panthers, and that's going to be a first down. McKelty Roberson, the young Syracuse outside linebacker, the man caught for that infraction. Kirk now rolling out wide on first down. He's got plenty of time, and he's going to decide to keep it himself up the sidelines into Syracuse territory, pushed out of bounds at about the 40, 20-yard run for the Panthers sophomore quarterback. First down, Pitt. Nash Jackson goes in motion. Now it's going to be Davion Reynolds on the counter, and he picks up about 5. 3rd and 5 now for the Panthers as they continue to let the clock wind down just in case they don't get it. Want to give Syracuse as little time as possible. Kirk now over the middle, stands in and delivers, and it's another penalty on Syracuse. KJ Welsh did a great job making a leaping grab over the middle of the field, and it's a first down and more. Clifton Merrick gives the Panthers 14 more down to the Syracuse 14. Great job by Kirk withstanding the pressure and delivering a great throw. Reynolds for a yard now, but Pitt does have all 3 timeouts. They elect to use one, but they let the clock run down to about 24 seconds to play. Kirk now had a man over the middle. It's going to be Sino Rogers, though, and that's going to be a first down for Pitt. First and goal now, 19 seconds to play. The clock is ticking, but he did have, it looked like, on Yango over the middle for what should have been a touchdown. Reynolds unable to get to the chalk here. It's another face mask penalty on Syracuse. That'll give Pitt a new set of downs and stop the clock. 13 seconds here remaining in the half. It's going to be Reynolds. He's got nowhere to go. Stuffed up the middle by stout Syracuse defensive effort there. Second and goal as Pitt uses their second timeout. 9 seconds to go in the half. Kirk looking to the corner. What a catch! KJ Welsh hauls that one in. We haven't seen a leaping effort in the corner of the end zone like that since the days of Larry Fitzgerald. Reminiscent of the Panthers' former star. Great throw by C.J. Kirk doing his best Rod Rutherford impression, and KJ Welsh on the timing pattern. Great job going up, highlighting the football, high-pointing the football, pulling it in, and getting the touchdown for the Panthers in the corner of the end zone. A huge score that might break the backs of Syracuse heading into halftime. Pitt now leading 21-14, and that was a huge 2-minute drill for the Panthers, aided a little bit by some Syracuse penalties, but either way, C.J. Kirk comes out throwing on that drive, gets the Panthers down the field, and really puts his stamp on this game finally to combat Cornell Washington, who's been unbelievable for Syracuse. He's running the football very well, 111 yards for the Orange on the ground, and other than that one turnover, they've looked fairly dangerous offensively, so we'll see how things shake out here in the second half as we'll get you back to the field here for Pitt Syracuse. So the Panthers will start with the football, looking to double dip, scoring on both sides of halftime here, and it's going to be Kirk throwing out wide RPO as he decides to go out to KJ Welsh rather than hand it off to Sino Rogers underneath. Short gain for Pitt. 3rd and 3 now. They decide to go 5 wide. Everybody comes around, and on Yango with a great job hanging on despite contact yet again. Really nice handle there. Gets just enough for the first down. 1st and 10 for Kirk. Decides to go underneath. He's got Sino for a 4-yard pickup. Sets up 2nd and 6 for the Panthers. Motion for Rogers now. He's going to come into the backfield here, give the Panthers a heavy look, and it's going to be a pitch out wide to Sino on the triple option. He's going to fight forward, and they are going to give him just enough to reach the line to gain and move the sticks for the Panthers. Shane Mitchell in motion now as they hand it off in that direction, but Reynolds decides to cut back upfield. 5-yard pickup for the sophomore. He's up to 64 yards on the day. 3rd and 5 for Pitt. They go dual tight end look to the sideline right, and he's going to throw it that way, and he just overthrows Christian Klump, does C.J. Kirk, and that's going to be a punt now for the Panthers as Kirk looks to replicate his first half fantastic play. 3 touchdowns in the opening 2 stanzas. Washington now decides to keep it himself for the Orange here. Triple option, but it's a good run by the bruising quarterback. 11-yard pickup and a first down, getting up to about the 39-yard line. Washington now out towards the sideline. That's a great throw in tight coverage there. Matt Emery for the Panthers was blanketing Ira Rucker, but he does a great job holding on to that one. Washington down with time to throw. Pitt only rushing 4, but thanks to some great coverage on a ton of downfield routes, the Panthers get home, and that's Ryan Jacobs with the sack. He's going to force 3rd and 14 now for the Orange. Washington looks to the sideline. He has bowling, but the Panthers happy to give up that underneath route. Needed 14, got 7, and it's going to be a punt back to Pitt. Underneath route for Keith Onyango. Short gain there. Not a lot of room as they tried the mid-screen. And Onyango is going to be tended to by the Panther training staff and Pat Narduzzi coming out to check on him after that completion. 2nd and 10 now for Pitt. Kirk rolling to his right, trying to create some space. Looks up the sideline. He's got a man. That's Davion Reynolds hanging on for a 23-yard grab before he's pushed out of bounds. First down for the Panthers. First time we've seen the star running back get involved in the passing game today. 2nd and 7 now. It's going to be Daenerys Carter. One of the first times we've called his name today. He pirouettes forward and is twirled to the ground for a 1-yard pickup, and he's going to come up holding his upper body as well. Going to be helped off the field, and we'll see how both of those players are moving forward here. But Reynolds on the screen does a great job dancing around a couple defenders. That dude Davion showing off the dance moves. 16-yard pickup. First down for the Panthers into Syracuse territory. Now it's going to be Reynolds again with another handoff. He sheds a couple of tacklers. He's got a hole up the middle, and Reynolds finds a lane 18 yards as he high steps out of a couple of tackles and moves the chains for Pitt. As we get word that Onyango is being investigated for a concussion, and he's unlikely to return for the remainder of this contest. DeAnthony Hamilton now getting into the game. 3-yard pickup for the freshman speedster, and it's going to be Kirk now on 2nd and 7. He fights forward here. 6-yard pickup. 3rd and inches for the Panthers, leaning on the running game here on the back half of this drive. KJ Welsh in motion for Pitt. Kirk hands it off yet again. Reynolds needed inches, got about a yard, and so it's going to be a first down for Pitt, goal to go. And we get word that Daenerys Carter unlikely to return to this game with a bicep injury. So Pitt down 2 offensive contributors here, but looking to score. It's going to be Kirk keeping it himself on 1st and goal. Sheds a tackler in the backfield and gets to pay dirt for the Panther touchdown. 2-touchdown lead now for the Panthers. CJ Kirk made it a little bit interesting for himself as they decided to not go with the jet sweep, kept it himself, but he did fight forward and get to the end zone. 28-14 now Panthers nearing the end of the 3rd quarter. So can Syracuse provide an orange? And Washington's going to start it off with an emphatic yes. Ira Rucker at the sideline. 19-yard gain for the orange right up to midfield in a hurry. Darion Stewart now bounces it outside. He's got a good run before Adarion Mitchell chases him down. 9-yard gain, 2nd and short for the orange. They go 5 wide set this time. Washington over the middle. That's Rucker, hauled down by Matt Emery, but not before he moves the chains for this orange offense looking to respond. Looks out wide on a dump off now. It's going to be Stewart. He's brought down by Langston, but he's caught with his hand in the cookie jar. That's going to be 15 tacked on to the end of that reception, moving the chains for the orange yet again. And that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Syracuse driving, trying to make this a contest here, but your Panthers leading 28-14 over Syracuse on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. 2nd and 10 now for the orange to start the 4th quarter here, nearing the Pitt red zone. They hand it off to Darion Stewart, and he runs right into a traffic jam. Jalen Hills leading the charge to bring him down. Loss of 3. 3rd and 13 now for Syracuse. Washington back to pass. Pitt brings some pressure, but he does a good job standing in there, and that's Michael Bowling working his way all the way to the end zone like a bowling ball, knocking some Panther defenders over on the way like pylons, and that's a Syracuse touchdown to have the Panthers advantage. Great job by Washington there, waiting in the pocket for that receiver to come open. He does a good job shedding a couple Panthers and finding pay dirt for the orange. 28-21 now. Pitt leading. 1st and 10 for the Panthers here. Kirk, plenty of time to throw. Has a man over the middle. That's going to be Shane Mitchell making his name heard. 232 yards now passing for CJ Kirk, and that's a first down for Pitt over and across their own 40-yard line. Back to Davion Reynolds, who's had a productive day. He goes up the middle for 4. Sets up 2nd and 6. Sino Rogers going to motion into the backfield alongside Reynolds here. They go triple option, but it's going to be just a plain handoff up the middle to Reynolds, and that's going to be Clifton Merrick again, I think, with the penalty. 15 more yards to tack on to that first down run that already was pulled up by Davion. Pitt into field goal range already, looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Play action for Kirk, decides to throw it up for Mitchell, and that's a great catch in traffic. Shane Mitchell goes up and makes an incredible grab. 29-yard pickup. Kirk had him on the seam. If he'd have gone it to him quicker, it might have been a bit of an easy catch, but right in front of Syracuse's best cover corner, Ronte Bell, Shane Mitchell goes up and makes a stupendous catch, and the Panthers have goal to go. Motion now, it's going to be Reynolds. He's going to have room to dive forward and get to the pylon. Touchdown Panthers, and they've restored that 2-touchdown advantage very quickly here, thanks to the heroics of Reynolds and Mitchell. Beautiful drive for the Panthers, a couple of big plays, and just like that, they've got a 14-point lead yet again. Washington, though, he continues to fight. That's Fred West out on the corner route, brought down by a pair of Panthers, but it's going to be a first down for the Orange. Handoff now on the delay. It's going to be Darion Stewart. He's got plenty of room to bust up the gut. First down carry, 14-yard pickup, and another big run for the Orange. They go Wildcat this time. Fred West in motion, but Stewart decides he only trusts himself to go with it. He puts his head down and bowls his way through a couple of defenders. 9-yard gain for Syracuse, quickly into Pitt territory. Washington, he decides to keep it. He's got plenty of room to the outside. Great blocking downfield, and eventually that's going to be Matt Wright who brings him down, but 22 yards for Washington. These designed runs have been very dangerous against the Panthers. They go option this time to Stewart. Nowhere to go. He's swarmed by a horde of Panther defenders. Malachi Bordeaux, the man to eventually drag him to the turf. Second down, trips to the right. Washington hands it off in that direction. It's going to be Stewart. Great job there by Scott Whaley coming up and making an open field tackle. Nowhere to go for Stewart. 3rd and 7 for the Orange. Plenty of time for Washington. He goes over the middle. That's going to be Malik Thornton, and that's going to be another touchdown for the Syracuse star receiver. Great job by him coming across the middle. Very good play call by the Orange, and good blocking through the middle of the field. All of it worked well for Syracuse as they have the Panthers' advantage yet again. 6 minutes to play. Pitt clinging to a 1-touchdown lead here in a hostile environment in Syracuse. Reynolds now on the counter. He's got room to rumble forward. 12-yard pickup straight through the heart of the Syracuse defense. First down for the Panthers. They go play action now. Kirk, time to throw. He's got Cino Rogers over the middle. That's a tight window to fit that one into. Lofts it right over the middle linebacker and finds the man for a good pickup. Colin Wells now in the game here, deputizing for Daenerys Carter, who's out of the contest like we mentioned previously with an injury, so we're seeing the redshirt senior get some playing time. Motion now for Rogers here. It's play action for Kirk. Looks over the middle. He's lucky to not get that intercepted. Clifton Merrick got his paws on that one, but unable to pull it in. Pitt, though, stopped offensively, and Syracuse with an opportunity now to tie this football game. For a team that's offense has been working very well here in the second half, and that's Darion Stewart yet again, nearly 200 yards for a Syracuse rushing attack that's been good, but Pitt's got one of the best rush defenses in the country. Syracuse making them look like a high school team here today. Malik Thornton near the sideline, 22-yard pickup there, and that's another first down for the Orange. Quickly moving into Pitt territory. Another throw, and that's incomplete there. Good coverage by the Panthers. Cedric Granger with the contact to dislodge the football. Second down now. Washington, time to throw, and he has plenty of time to survey his options. Finds Ira Rucker for 17 yards. New set of downs for the Orange into the red zone. Handoff now. It's Darion Stewart. The Panthers absolutely flock to the ball carrier there. Darion Mitchell, the man to bring him down in the backfield. 2nd and 11 now for Syracuse. Washington here. Plenty of time to look. Panthers go zone, and he's got a man at the back of the end zone. Michael Bowling takes the top off the defense, and they're ruling it a touchdown as he tiptoed at the end line, and they're going to say he got his feet down, and that could be the tying score for the Orange with 2:43 to play. The Panthers, though, decide to challenge, and we're going to take another look at this catch and see, was he really able to get those tippy toes down and give Syracuse the equalizer here? Let's see if we can get a good look. There it is. That's the view to see, and is that right foot down while Bowling makes, possession of the football, or does the left foot come down next to give him an incompletion? I think it's going to be tough to overturn if you're the referee in this one. It looks like the right foot might be down, and the video official is going to agree with it. It's going to be a Syracuse touchdown. Pitt is going to lose a timeout, and they're already down to just one timeout remaining. Could that be a decider here in this football game? D'Anthony Hamilton tries to go up and over the top of a couple defenders there. 28-yard return, and the Panthers from their own 26 trying to put a game-winning drive together here, much like they did at the end of the first half with their beautiful 2-minute drill. Now they're looking for the 3-minute drill, and that's going to start off very promisingly. Reynolds with a big gain. He's up over 130 yards on the day. Pitt close to midfield. Kirk's going to roll out. He's got room to roam, and he may run forward. Instead, he decides to throw it right at the last minute. I think he locked up a couple Syracuse defenders with that decision. KJ Wells broke off and gets a huge completion for the Panthers. Right into field goal range already. Pitt now looking to likely run off some clock, and that's going to be Colin Wells with a nice 7-yard pickup there. Fights through a couple of defenders. 2nd and 3 for Pitt. Syracuse not using their timeouts, giving the Panthers the opportunity to run some clock here. That's incomplete, and that's going to save a timeout for the Orange. Christian Klump unable to hold on there through the contact. 3rd and 3. Rogers will motion into the backfield. What are the Panthers going to do? They're going to hand off. It's D'Anthony Hamilton finding a hole right through the middle. The Panthers opened up a gap as wide as the Red Sea there, and Hamilton went through it and gets a first down, but it's going to be negated. KJ Welsh called for a clipping penalty. It's going to be 3rd and 10 out for the Panthers. They're going to have to do it all over again. Pat Narduzzi not happy at all with the call, and Pitt doesn't like the look they're getting. They're going to decide to call timeout here with just a minute to play, so no timeouts remaining for the Panthers on a critical 3rd and 10. Kirk rolling out to the right, looks over the middle. He's got Cino Rogers. That's a first down. 23-yard pickup, and just when you need him, the Panthers' big players step up. C-note that time, hauling in the grab, and Pitt content to run some clock off here. 25 seconds left to play. Davion Reynolds goes up the middle, and the Panthers going to clock the football here with 2 seconds to play, bringing out Johnny Midday. Big play Johnny Midday all day trying to make the game-winning field goal. Syracuse chooses to ice him, but this is going to be a short chip shot. Can Midday keep the Panthers' unbeaten season alive? That kick is up. That kick is good, and Pitt will improve to 11-0 with a 38-35 victory over the Syracuse Orange here. Johnny Midday steps up in the clutch just when the Panthers needed him, and that's a game-winning field goal. 38-35, walk-off. We'll see you back in Pittsburgh. What a performance for the Panthers it was. Coming through with big plays when you needed them. C.J. Kirk making some big throws. You get the likes of K.J. Welsh, Christian Klump, and of course, Cino Rogers making big grabs. And Davion Reynolds with one of his best games in a while, running the football. Over 130 yards on the day for the sophomore. Big game for him. Of course, everyone's going to talk about Kirk. Bunch of touchdown passes, ran for a touchdown. He's an unbelievable player, but you can't discount the way the offensive line protected and then gave Reynolds plenty of room to roam forward and run the football. Cornell Washington, of course, distraught after the loss. This could have been his calling card. He's a player that he may be at the NFL draft next season with how talented he is. Could be a first-round pick for sure. And he put on a show today, running the football, passing the football. Great game for him. Nearly led Syracuse to an incredible upset. But the Panthers, unable to be dethroned. Cinderella still has her her glass slippers. And the Panthers' fantastic season continues. Huge victory over the Orange, 38-35. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you very soon. Pitt's final contest of the regular season against Miami coming very soon. Hail to Pitt. We'll see ya. Take care. Bye-bye.